of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
If you want this conversation, but A.H.A.D is giving up so much. Part of the reason, again, of the diabolical scheme that that the devil have out here for our people, because they don't want to be awakened to reality that A.H.A.D's Allah is here now. And that the true Savior and the sign of His grace is that the people need to wake up to this covenant that Allah has sent down to be truly freed in this hour today.
We want to let you know that next week, Brooklyn, tune in.
This enlightenment.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. And the diabolical scheme that's been planted on our people as a whole, because when the Holy Prophet sits down from my ears that there's a genocidal war against people of color, our people particularly, because we're the people that have been nurtured and bred to be the new people that Allah spoke about in the Holy Quran, that people don't even want to look at. The Arab notice is in the book, the Holy Book.
Yeah.
That Allah said, if you don't
they're our
hold
enemies.
right, there you go.
They are part of what enslaved us.
There you go.
They would never step aside. They won't even, they go so far as they will not even tell you that Prophet Muhammad was a dark-skinned man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about that lie. The Christians tell you that they let you go into slavery, and then they said, take out religion, and Jesus is a white man. They threw him on the cross, hang him in the church, you worshiping that, and they know that in the Bible it said that he had hair like sheep. Will you bring me a Caucasian with hair like sheep?
And they was Hebrew, dark-skinned Hebrew.
Now, like I tell you about them Arabs that enslaved our people as well. They know that Prophet Muhammad was olive complexion, and olive did not mean green. He was
dark skin. Don't confuse. Don't take the devil's words and confuse it. That thing about Jesus having feet like burnt brass, that was a lie they put in the Bible.
Oh, okay.
That description was about me coming in this day. They got people thinking that Jesus, they're looking for a Caucasian Jesus to come and save all these black people and all these people of religion throughout the world. That was a lie they put in the Bible. Okay?
We were talking about...
But we know Jesus was... Jesus, John, Mary, Joseph, all of them was dark-skinned people.
People don't want to promote. They don't want to let the African-American mind even tune in that they might have some positive to look into, to relate to.
Oh yeah, keep us in a negative state.
Yeah. Or anytime.
Yeah.
They want us to think that the greatest thing we achieved was being Zulu warriors. Going through Africa, killing up everybody in Africa. That's the greatest thing they want us. They raised us, man. They never even told us about the great, beautiful paradises inside of Africa, the great kingdoms. The beautiful buildings that these buildings over here in Europe can't touch. They didn't see. They want to. And then the other thing is, every time they showed us pictures about the old ancient Africans, they made them people Caucasian. Why would they go and purposely knock the nose off the Sphinx to let you know that was a black man, dark-skinned man with big nose?
That's right.
They knocked it off, and then they gonna try to make like it was something else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, people might say, well, what that got to do with anything? It got something to do with everything.
A lot have to do with the psyche.
If you because they teaching us one thing in this nation, they teaching other people other things. We're being taught to stay in the self-deceit, to stay in the self-hatred, to stay in the selfless worth.
I met an Indian man on my job.
Worthlessness.
That's how they portray it,
And that you're saying, Lord Holy Apostle, that this gentleman I'm speaking to, just in general subjects, and I myself was now surprised at how wide his information was about world information, news information and stuff like that. And I'm like, it really struck me that this man was, he was just a layman like me on the job, but he had much more worldly knowledge than the common person, African-American person.
You know why?
That I would meet.
Because people around the world many times, they're thinking the world scope. He's an Indian from India, I believe what you're talking about. But his concern is always going to be in there, regardless of where he's at, where he stays in America.
Right.
He's concerned about the broad, his home abroad. And his thing is always going to be in more of a universal mindset than our people here. We keep locked into we locked into our corners right here.
Yeah.
On the block.
On the block.
As far as we know.
The liquor store on the corner.
That's it.
You know, and what have you. If you go and talk to somebody that's been jailed and he been in jail for 20 years and then he come back and he say, oh man, everything changed.
Yes,
he feel like he lost something because the liquor store has been torn down. You know, I'm serious. The houses that they used to run through has been torn because that's all they get. That's all they get. Now the sad part about it is here we got this technology, one of this great technological society, but they, with all our money inside the government, they will not set up a program to take DNA tests for all the people and let us all know what our lineage is.
True indeed.
Who we connected with. Why they doing that? They got to make sure the black man don't go nowhere past slavery. They want us to stop at slavery. They want us to go there and stop. They don't want us to recognize that we got Chinese in us, that we got Native American in us, that we got French in us, that we got Italian in us, that we got all these different things. Because see, if you recognize what your lineage is, then you can start understanding why you like you are, what's going on inside your genes, why you have inclinations, how to better prepare yourself, how to better balance yourself up as a human being, what to strive for, what greater interest to have to develop and feed your mind, and your heart and your spirit. If they could keep that away from you, just a walking dead thing, you stay among the living dead, and that's where they want you. That's where they want you. And if this man don't speak up, this Barack Obama don't speak up about these very sensitive and real issues that's happening with our people, being that he is claiming to be of our race, then the people should be able to see where he coming from. Not that they want to see.
They don't want to take
because here we go again with us being the strangest people, race of people in the world. We are anti-self.
I want to.
We should be called Afro anti-self American. So you know what I'm saying?
True. I had a situation that came up in this whole conversation. One of my children's teachers called from school. You know, and she said, make sure the children come to the Saturday class for the study for the GEPA or whatever test they take for the state. And I said, it's a shame, as I'm talking to, I said, it's a shame, you as an African-American woman, I'm talking to, it's a shame that y'all don't fight for the real education that the same kid that get in the suburbs for our kids. She said, you know what, you're right, but still send your kids. After all that we said, she said, you're right, but still send the kids on Saturday. I said, it's a shame, because the Caucasian kids don't go to school on Saturday, learn this education they're getting. They study for the test themselves. They're getting toward the test.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Dries. My older children, some years ago, I was kind of shocked. You know, have been very strict in my home about what I let my children feed into their minds and what have you. I said, well, I'm not just gonna let the devil come through that television set.
Right.
You understand? Fighting my wife and I, fighting like mad to make sure our children stay in order. Right. To keep them from being victimized by things that we knew they wouldn't even realize they were being victimized by. Right. And before I know it, they telling me about all these programs that's on TV that we try to make sure they don't see. I'm like, well, how do you get to see that? In school. In school. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? I look into this thing, they done took away the athletic programs, the gym, the cook, all the stuff that teach you how to be a good homemaker, a good citizen. Yeah. You know, because if you're not a good homemaker, you're not going to be a good citizen, because if you sitting around a woman and you ain't taking care of your family, you don't know how to feed your family. That's just like a farmer who got a farm and he ain't doing nothing but going shopping at the shopping center.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You a woman and you don't know how to raise your children, you don't know how to teach your children, how to feed your child, how to become self-sufficient, how to sew clothes and different things like that. Those are very important things, and they have sold it on us that you don't want to be that old mammy stuck in the house. You need to be a career woman. When they got no careers for us. Now, our family, our women is on the street, right along with the brothers. And they dressing like men, tattooing themselves, sagging their pants, and doing all kind of crazy stuff on the streets. Nobody got their young folks thinking in terms of being homemakers.
Thinking in terms of being citizens.
Righteous citizens. Balance. When I say homies, I'm talking about having a balanced life is so very important. And then they want to lock our minds up with the students.
Yeah.
Gonna force the parents to be teachers of their children while they're paying taxes for the teachers to teach them. So they take the parents away from all other interests, all other development of mind to put them into the children. Now they're going to ruin the children and ruin the parents at the same time. All in the name of education.
Yeah.
And act like they don't know why the parents are bad parents today.
Now they want the children to come to school on Saturday to prepare for the test, but Caucasian people start preparing their children for them tests.
Right.
When they see, and that's where we so unfair.
That's why I was talking
They get on television and say, "Oh, North scored low, and this urban section scored low." You know why they scoring low. You just saying that to make these other people believe that we just stupid.
Yeah.
But we're scoring low because you got the damn teachers coming in putting videos
On TV.
You got, they had
letting the children run. That's like the children run the classes. It's like the animals running the zoo.
Hold it, for work study, they letting kids be out of school on a Tuesday. Go to ShopRite. Bags. Stand up all day and pack bags.
As a work study program.
And I asked them,
as a work study program.
What kind of job skills is she learning?
What is that?
I'm like, how you can introduce that?
Had one of my daughters doing it, and then had my daughter so upset with us because she can't see what they doing. And we said, wait a minute, bagging? When I was a kid, we bagged to make extra money. Or the bums was trying to get in there to bag and they was throwing them out because they smelled.
Right, that was it.
Nobody wants to really bag.
We was only bagging so we could play video games.
Bagging is embarrassing. You get a person they hire and they put them out bagging, they embarrassed. They should be working the cash register and they got them bagging.
Right.
They didn't even want to do that.
I said this is what we pay taxes for
but that's what they're doing with our kids. And we talking about, we not just talking about Newark, we talking about suburban black schools around Newark.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? And you telling the children this is career? Where I could sit up at my job and see Caucasian young people coming in and make just as much as I'm making for the summer. And you talking about career?
And that's something right.
Oh, let me tell you, they establish things for their children.
Let me tell you something. I had an experience.
The future.
I had an experience when I was growing up, going to school. I was taken by our strange people, adults in the community, who led me astray and made me think that going out into the world to hustle and gamble and do illegal things to make money was the way to be. I was victimized to think that the gangsters was kings and stuff like that there, you know what I'm saying? But I thank Allah that it blessed me to be able to go through what I went through and come out of there unscathed, to learn from it. But the thing about it was, as a young man, as a youngster, I was very fast, I dealt with people 10, 15 years older than me. My conversations was much higher than the people my age, you understand? And I thought school was beneath me. Once I got into middle school, I thought it was beneath me. And I felt like the children in my class was beneath me. And I would go to school and I'd get the school information on a Wednesday, Thursday, and come take all the tests on Fridays. And one year I did that, and I had an accumulated time period of 3 months in school where I was supposed to have 9.
Right.
they had a special session where they brought people from the Board of Education to run tests because they said the teachers had to be cheating for me and there's something illegal going on. Like I was doing favors for them and they was all passing because nowhere in the world could I be passing these classes, and I only been to school in the cumulative 3 months out of the 9. Now, they sit me in the auditorium for 3 days and test me alone. My teachers were shaking. Because if I didn't do well, they was going to penalize them.
They right.
I passed everything. Huh? They took all my tests to the Board of Education and came back, and you know what they said? We don't understand how you do it, but we know you didn't cheat us. You passed everything. Talking about AIDS, man.
Mm-hmm.
You passed everything. But we can't pass you because you didn't come to school enough.
Another 6 months, right? Yeah.
You didn't come to school enough. Now, I'm watching them run people who can't even make it in school, running them through grades.
Yes.
I'm watching this, running them through grades.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm upset. I'm saying, these people can't even pass tests and they getting promoted.
Yeah.
Now you look at that. That was the Newark school system when I was coming up.
That was the
What they should have did, had we been a free people,
right.
Yes.
had there been a real interest in me, somebody would have stood up and made a demand. Check this young man out.
Right.
He need to be put in a higher grade.
Right.
He need to be challenged. He got some kind of a mind that we need to examine and make sure he become a boon to this society.
Right. But no.
But instead they said, watch that. We got to destroy this man. We got to find a way to keep him down. Huh?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's always been a conspiracy.
And then gonna tell me we gonna make sure you keep staying in this business course so you can run business. Back then, business meant you didn't get you got that common stuff.
Right.
They should have told me, you know what? We gonna put you in college prep course.
There you go. That's where you should have been, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So my experience was when they had someone from first-hand experience, when they had someone whose mind they could have utilized, who they could have enhanced, who they could have used to help other people, they helped to destroy. They was just as bad as the adults on the streets who was telling me all these things and guiding me into all these other things. You understand? They was just as bad. They just had the suit and ties and they was put in positions of education to keep me down. And that's still what's going on today in society. The devil is so slick and people just cannot see it. And the thing about it is our people, our strange people, is taken by them, man. We don't want to succeed and we got it in us to not succeed.
But how you described it as the kidnapper syndrome. When you
Patty Hearst thing.
Yeah, then you fall in love with your captors.
Yeah.
You know, we in love with our captors, and all we want to do is make sure our captors are happy. How in the world can they raise these women who talk about the men, black men destroying the black family, and they because of personal things happening to them? How can we as a people run behind these women and men who have got freaked out minds and say that they, worship them because they make all this money,
right.
because the enemy of our people are paying them and making them multi-millionaires,
right.
and we stand back and worship them and get behind them like they're the all-knowing people. And I'm talking about, I hate to call names, but number one, Oprah. Okay, she ain't even got a man. She ain't even got a child. She talking about how child rearing, family, and all this stuff. Relationships.
Right.
And she can't, her only relationship is with herself trying to keep her weight down.
Her money don't make her
Right.
authority.
You know what I'm saying? But here we go, suckers again, being led to follow her mind. It's important that we understand we're being geared to follow her mind. How is she so great, have an interest in Newark in a relationship with this this secret agent that's the mayor for another people who are taking over, who we said was going to take over Newark back in the 90s. They coming to take over the New Jerusalem because they want to make sure they got both places. And they want to tell us, oh, forget about Nostradamus. But they know what Nostradamus was talking about. Here they are in Newark.
That's right.
What was you going to say, Idris?
No, I'm just saying when he was talking about his experience as a young man growing up in the education system, he was what they call the No Child Left Behind then before they named it with the President Bush now.
Oh, yeah.
It was then we're going to put these kids through regardless, you know, and they take one who have ability and have the potential and destroy it. The black mind. And they always had a conspiracy against young black males, always for a long time. They would always raise the young girls to keep the young boys back. But now we see the result now with raising up the women now, giving them jobs, keeping the black men still down to the chattel system of the
keep
prison.
The black family enslaved. And our women go for it. Our women go for it, and they don't even know what they're doing.
Right. Instead of them researching.
Right.
You know, and I put this on our African American teachers. When you have a child that can't keep up, that's when you need to do your homework.
That's right.
That's the one they want to throw aside.
Don't throw him aside. Do your homework. Do your homework and see what's the interest of this child. Where this child, because everybody don't have that kind of money.
They don't understand the fact of the matter is that we're human beings and we're like stars in the universes, man. All them stars look the same, but none of them are the same. And the thing about it is, everybody isn't meant to be a astrophysicist.
Intellectual, like you
said. Let me tell you, I know a Caucasian guy that I really had a nice relationship with. He was not an educated Caucasian guy.
Right.
He was wrestled. He wrestled when he was in college. He did all physical things. Was raised by a single mother, but the neighborhood that he came from, Caucasians look out for each other.
Yeah, because
they took care of him, and the fathers in the neighborhood made sure they spent, you know, that fatherly time with him when he did things that mothers don't attend.
Right.
Now, he wasn't that bright, but they look out for each other. He wound up starting a cleaning business with two people, him and another guy. Now he has $1 million cleaning business with a whole staff. Then he took his money and invested it into a limousine service. Didn't take education to do it.
Right.
You understand? But his people.
Oh, it took education. The righteous education.
Right.
But his people cared enough to make sure that, because his father passed away, that they was going to rear this child and make sure that this man was going to be okay.
And that was his education.
We going back to that thing that you talking about again. Our people like to quote that anecdote and take a nation to raise a child, but they don't want to put that nation into a child to raise them up now.
But see, we have to realize, we have to understand what kind of people we are.
Strange.
We have to first realize what we are before we can make a change. If we don't realize that, we still have self-hatred. Listen, Elijah, he was successful with a few. He failed with the majority.
Right.
Huh? Right. Many of the other so-called leaders, freedom fighters, failed. They were successful with a few and failed with the many. Huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you look around, you got people now, you could ask some children about the freedom fighters and all they could tell you about is Malcolm X.
Yep. And King. That's it.
And King. They can't tell you about nothing else.
Nope.
They don't know that our freedom fighters were sought out to be killed by the Caucasian people.
Right. That's right.
They don't know that the government, secret agents, and different agencies and what have they don't know that our people were assaulted by the authorities for being leaders, for trying to do what we're trying to do now.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't have no idea. And then you got these leaders in politics that have made it, and they don't raise this here publicly. They might raise it in small institutions and small gatherings and they small fraternities, and then act like they doing something. But they don't really raise this thing and in other words, all them freedom fighters has died for nothing now.
Really, yeah.
Because all that they accomplished, that they try to throw back on them, is failing. And it's just a matter of time before the people see that it has failed. Yeah. Because they reaping some rewards right now of certain people. Reaping some rewards of it. Because they could step to the White House. You understand?
Still through the back
But,
door.
there you go. But eventually, they're going to see. And then, this thing with them omitting the Lord El.
Yeah.
Because religion has omitted El.
Yeah.
They've established Jesus and Muhammad and the companions of Muhammad. And even the Buddhists and the Taoists and people of the Hindus, they're establishing their people. And you got our people running talking about being gods themselves.
Yeah.
You understand? And being the power of their own essence of being. You know, so, you know, they have omitted the Lord El. This country must come down. This society must come down. And only a few is going to be left. But we're coming to a time, people don't believe it.
I know.
And you know what,
Idris,
you said something that made me laugh because we had experienced an incident. A guy told us it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
You know, you're like my child. That's nonsense. Because if my children was hanging out with his child and they quote status better than my children, his wife wouldn't let my children come into his backyard for a cookout. But when my children got tired of his son talking bad about him and they was going to beat his little behind, now it takes a village to raise a child. Our people are so rotten to each other.
I almost bit his head off too, coming up on my porch with that talk. He didn't know what he was messing with.
Our people are
you better get that. You better get that damn cliche out of my face.
That's what it was.
We'll say things with our tongues, but we don't mean with our hearts.
Sure did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We even in our own small community, people have fought and put themselves in debt to try to make their children better than somebody else's child
in this community. And that's all part of that disunity, that self-defeatist, that self-hatred, that self-annihilation. It's all a part of the same thing, that mentality, that gene that we got in us. People don't understand how they gotta fight themselves, man.
A lot of negative stuff.
You got to fight yourself. You got to fight yourself. I remember once, you know, I had a check, you know, a heart check, you know. My heart wasn't right. I was like hating my people, and the Lord had showed me better, you know. And I remember I was tried, you know. I got hurt on my job. My job, the government, worked for the federal government. They refused to pay me for 6 months, saying that I was faking, you know. And I was really down. I went to the welfare, and you talking about a young man in his 20s in his pride, had used to been hanging, taking care of himself since he was 13. And I went there and they said they couldn't help me. Why? Because you got a job. I'm like, well, where can I get help? Nowhere. You got to go back to work. I couldn't work, right? I tried to go back to work, couldn't function. I had an associate came to me because, you know, when I was young, I was a big time hustler. Said, you know, you don't need to go through this here. You still could make more money in a day than you would make in a week on your job. Here, I want to give you this product and I want to give you these few $100, man. Get you on your feet. You know, you come back out with me. I looked at that, man, and I looked at my people. And I was, like I said, I wasn't 25 yet. And I said, you know what, man? I'd rather kill myself than to go back out there and kill my people.
Right.
He said, you ain't killing your people. You ain't making them take. I said, I'm not going to have my hands in it. I said, thanks. I believe that you mean me well. Thanks, but no thanks. Here's your product, and here's your dirty money. I'd rather suffer. Because, see, I had reached a point where I realized that Allah was watching me. I realized that Allah was real. I realized that Allah was present. And most of our people have no knowledge of this.
Right.
And I was concerned. I said, no, Lord, I know what you want me to do. I'm not going to hurt my people no more. And I stepped back. And the Lord delivered me, man.
See, well, I used to giving you and talking that kind of conversation. You calling people to a conscience. And who don't want to deal with the conscience because that's going and dealing with them. And all our failures and our frustration, we should be mad. Of what you call Caucasian, but ourselves first because we let ourselves be duped all these years. The same trick on it.
Mm-hmm.
Even the people that's in the position of our people who are duped on a high level, still slaves.
Yes, still
on a different level though.
On a different
They ain't trying to help us for real because they were.
And let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you how this society is, man. Now they the sons and daughters of the people in England.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have this great Democratic Party, which has been a black man's party since slavery, since we've been allowed to vote, right?
Yeah, because right.
Our great party. They just knighted
Kennedy, yeah.
the greatest Democratic family.
Kennedy family.
They knighted this man.
He's a knight.
And he was supposed to be one of the greatest representatives of what's going on in there?
Yeah.
These racist, beastly people, what's going on in there? They knighting this man.
Kennedy, yeah.
With brain cancer.
An Irishman.
Irishman. And they ain't English, yeah.
You know, it's like they say, it's something funny with this money when you got that funny money. It's something funny up here.
Well, I see we've been given the signs of the time. This has been an I-Have moment, the calm before the storm. If you want to reach us at I-Have Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, Newark, New Jersey,
to keep up
07103,
with keeping your lives tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you